Welcome to another episode of the Realish DMV. It's your favorite host, DMV Bach here.
And I'm the voice of experiences, Raven Paris.
And I'm your guy, Tatty Low.
And we like to humbly welcome you to another season of the Realish DMV.
3.
We got some of the biggest guests in the area coming on. We got a couple of them here today.
The one that we're having on, he's a multi-faced entertainer. You may know him from his comedy. You may listen to him in the morning on a radio show. Or honestly, you may have even purchased a property from him.
And believe it or not, he has music on SoundCloud. And speaking of music, we have a live performer, one of the hottest in the DMV right now. So y'all stay tuned.
Definitely do that.
Beats.com.
Our first guest today is somebody you can hear on 95.5 alongside with Sonny and Guy Lambert.
And if you can't catch him in the morning, he's always doing comedy in the DMV somewhere.
And we're blessed to have him join us right now. Please welcome
Definitely.
Mr. Joe Clair.
Thank you guys. Thank you all. Let me first say, man, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. This is an incredible setup. Y'all are really doing y'all thing. Y'all got
Feeling
the
the
stuff behind.
vibes.
I mean, who don't nobody be having that behind? You be going to people's shows, it be whack. So nah, this all right here. This is really, really nice. Thank you guys. I appreciate
We
it.
had a big guest coming, so we had to prepare. We had to do it big.
You gotta do it right.
Well, thank
Definitely.
you. Thank you. I appreciate
How you
it.
feeling today?
Man, I'm feeling good. Really, really blessed. Man, how y'all feeling? How y'all
This is
feeling?
what I want to know.
love
And this
it,
is what
I love
I
it.
think the world wants to know. How did somebody coming from Morgan State University
Hello?
with a psychology degree?
Facts.
Yeah, she's
Same
from Baltimore too. She had
Morgan
to know
State,
that.
okay, Morgan Pride.
How did
Right.
somebody
Yeah,
coming
yo.
from Morgan State University with a psychology degree end up doing comedy?
So it was, all right, I got to the psych department after leaving the art department.
Okay.
I was an art student, and I got that's what got me out of the house. That's what got me to Morgan State. And I was foolish. I'm gonna go ahead and say foolish because once I started putting my art up and the professor started telling me what was wrong with it, I was like, how you gonna judge my art?
Exactly. Art.
Hold up, Slim.
sensitive
You
about
know
stuff.
what I'm saying? But I was hard-headed, and so I thought in an act of rebellion, I left the art department to go and get a psychology degree. Like, I'm gonna go do something else on y'all real fast. And I ended up, the only other thing that I was interested in was psychology. And because of my older brother, he used to get psychology today.
Okay.
And when I was in the 7th grade, 8th grade, I had to go to counseling. When you go through your teenage years, you gotta go
definitely.
talk to your counselor. And I had a little counseling. I'm gonna go ahead and say that.
And that's wrong with
feel
it.
like a
They
lot-
think black
I feel like-
folks don't go to counseling.
Exactly, I was
Nah,
about
I
to
went
say
to
that.
counseling.
What's wrong with it?
I went to
Exactly.
counseling in the 7th grade.
That's all right.
Anyway, so I end up in the psychology department, but they just if you go back to Morgan State, and there's a Morgan State magazine, you can find it online or whatever. My real major was the Bridge.
Okay.
Where,
Bridge,
where everybody used to hang at.
Everybody used to be.
So I would
Must be a Baltimore thing right there.
Nah, Morgan State has this bridge that goes across
big.
the campus, right? That connects the two
yeah.
sides
So
of
you
the
saying
campus.
you wasn't in classes, you was on
I
the
wasn't.
bridge.
Listen,
Okay.
I ain't never go to
Looking at the
class.
bridge,
Okay.
Listen to
please.
I ain't never go to class. If my professors knew if they needed to find me, if
Where
something
to
was
find
going
you
on,
at.
Be at the bridge.
they would send someone out there, go get Mr. Clair off of the bridge, tell him his project is, that kind of thing. And what I didn't realize is that was like a training ground because everybody was there. It was always some Jonah going on,
Right.
always something going on. And I didn't know I was going to end up here.
Right.
I had no idea. I was a
Something
It's like
was
that
ordained.
purpose. It's like passion and purpose. I speak about that often. Like a lot of times we do things that just come natural to us. Like I like talking a lot. You know what I'm saying? I'm not knowing that I'm going to end up doing that to make income. You probably like telling jokes.
I had no idea. And what happened was a buddy of mine at the time. He was my roommate. Him and his frat brothers, the Alphas, was sitting in our living room one day, and we playing cards or whatever, and they was like, you be funny around us, but you can't be funny in front of everybody. You know, they always say that. And I was like, who can't? And they was like, bet you won't, because the Q's was having a gong show, and they was like, bet you won't go to the gong show and get on. I was like, what's the bet? And he bet me a case of beer. And you know, when you're in college, that's a real bet.
Now that's a fact. You got to show out for the case of beer.
You got to show out for it.
What is it, Bud Light?
No. I was drinking genuine draft. Genuine draft, it just came out. This was new beer. And so I'm like, bet. And so I went up to the gong show. And you in front of all your peers. These are people who have known me. They have heard all these jokes before, but they ain't hear this stuff that I was about to say.
Right.
And boom, that thing worked.
You wrote it down?
Nah.
Just off the head?
And you know what's crazy? I never write down jokes.
You never write down your jokes?
I never write down jokes.
So
and I might be further if I started writing down. I made up the routine in my head how I was gonna say it. Definitely. And then I had this big finale. Prince had just came out with the butt out pants.
Oh, Lord.
And so
You did it? You get up on stage.
You had the butt out.
But I took some biker shorts, cut the butt out after I did my jokes. I did a Prince impersonation. Boom, turned around right quick. They went, the crowd, you know, you in college. You in college. The place, they went crazy. The administrators came running upstairs. What in the hell is going on up here? Because they stomping the floors and everything. And that's when it was like, you know, it was,
wow.
It kind of became, this when it became real.
That's when it became.
That's when it was like real. Now, it ain't become a passion. It didn't become a passion until I got out of school and got a job. I was a social worker.
Hey,
and
that's what I went to working for.
You know what it is. And people started, my man was like, you need to go do this this comedy or this competition. And when I did the competition and got that applause, then it was starting to get really, really, really real. And then from there, it was on. It was on it, and that wasn't even really my first love. You know, art was my first love. Yeah. And now, you know, like the music now is just really a continuation of that.
Yeah, it's another art form.
It's all different forms.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. So I needed an expressive outlet, and comedy was one. And here's the thing: we from the DMV. Yeah. I was like, I need money.
Yeah,
I got to be fresh. I
feel like we definitely grind because we don't have the opportunities that the different New Yorks, Californias, as far as opportunity and income to fund our opportunity.
Nah, I ain't feel like that.
Grind.
I was going to say,
I felt like
create your platform.
Yeah, because I was like, I need money.
Yeah.
I can't show up at the club not fresh. You got to, you know what I'm saying? We from here, you got to be fresh. Yeah. And I took that in, and so starting with comedy, I started making money like as soon as I started. I went to an open mic, and I was like, well, how much y'all pay? And they was like, pay, don't nobody pay. But then I went up and I ripped. I was like, how much y'all pay? Well, here, take this dub. I was like, boom, that'll work. Wow. That was, $20 for 5 minutes of work was like, oh my God. I called everybody I knew. I was like, y'all ain't made $20. Tell a joke.
So what got you the comic view and Def Comedy Jam? How did it spark?
I know that had to be crazy. I know you really looked in the mirror and said,
I'm here.
I'm that guy.
I was just like, this is what we gonna do. I was just like, this is what we gonna do. But I got to Def Jam. My first year telling jokes, I got on Def Comedy Jam. Like I had only been telling jokes a year, and I booked Def Comedy Jam, right? Because what you would do is you'll go up and down the East Coast, so you'll go down south and you'll go up north. And I started bumping into the New York cats, and I'm talking the Tracy Morgans, the Talents, the JB Smooths, all of it. And this one they were still sleeping on. Now they were still sleeping on couches. We were still on brand new. This is way before anybody knew us. Well, Tracy Morgan already was on. Apollo Comedy Hour. So, I'm doing that, and they saw me. And there's this place in New Jersey called the Peppermint Lounge. You had to go, and you had to audition. It was so hard. It was, them Newark cats will boo you so fast, and I didn't get booed.
Especially if you're not being from there.
Especially if you're not being from there.
Nobody. I feel like nobody really wants to give us a chance. I feel like that's why we're not on the map. We got
we ain't on the map.
You know, not necessarily.
I got hold on. I got for 1 second. No, no, 1 second. Listen. For 1 second, hold on. Martin Lawrence from around my way.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle, the king of comedy, is from here.
No.
Wanda Sykes, Donnell Rollins, Dominique, the Royale, Red Grant, the Coco, the list goes on. We on the map. We is the map. Matter of fact, we is the map. Man, don't let it
right there for you.
Hey, you can tell you see Pleasant right here. We on the map.
We is, the way I felt about it, we was the map.
Yeah, no
you know, and even being at Morgan State, like the New York dudes came down with their New York swag, and I appreciated it, but I was still like, y'all ain't us.
Exactly.
No disrespect to y'all, but y'all ain't us.
Exactly.
You know, and if you think about it, I had cats that was in the industry, like my man from Baltimore, Kevin Lives.
Okay.
Kevin Lives from Baltimore.
Yep.
You know, Kenny
300.
Burns from here. You know, we got cats throughout the industry. And Diddy started at Howard.
Yep.
Yeah.
DMV.
You know what I'm saying? Like Jay had to come down here, and you know Jay-Z talk about his time in Maryland and what it meant to
Emory.
Mike Epps. Mike Epps came and spent. Look, Mike Epps used to be on 10th place.
Slim, straight
Look, let me
up.
tell y'all something.
Yeah.
Mike Epps used to be out on 10th.
Hold on, you saying Day used to be out 10th place?
On 10th.
On everything.
Ask
cuz.
anybody.
Yes.
Mike used to be
That's
out
how
on
I got hip
10th.
to him down there.
Exactly. Mike used to be out on
used to be
10th.
on 10th.
What?
Yeah.
Words, man.
Straight up.
I got
Day-Day.
stories.
Straight
Day-Day.
up.
Day-Day.
But
History
y'all gotta
lesson.
understand, like, Day-Day ain't Day-Day. Mike a real cat. Like,
Yeah.
he a super real cat. Like, man, he a super real cat. So, you know, like, I never, and I guess I want to spread that to y'all as the new generation. Nah, we it. You it.
Period.
You right, this it.
No
That's-
You know what I'm saying? Real ish is it. This it.
Create your
Somebody got to
own
keep it
platform.
real. I like
Somebody
that. He
gotta
just
keep
put us all the way on.
It really this it,
Definitely
man. And
put us all
don't
the
you
way
ain't
on.
you ain't got to look nowhere else to get anything and everything you want out of your career, out of your life, anything. You could do all of it right here if you feel like it.
Oh yeah. We're gonna
love
go
this.
ahead and pause this real quick. Don't go nowhere though. We'll be right back. Y'all stay tuned with more Joe Cleasy.
But before we go, I'd like to thank our sponsors. I'd like to thank our sponsor, the Core by Eva, excuse me for my voice, the Core by Eva for providing our Kings and Queen mugs on set.
And Lawrence Clothier for providing my outfit today from
okay.
Springfield Mall.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, you
There you
did.
go.
You provided me my outfit today. You hear me?
This is the bitches I bring with the spitted line.
I've remixed DJ.
Oh yeah, sole dancer. Hey, African madam sole. Zege, zaga, original fire de sole. Zege, zaga, la bamia babi, se valide. Sole, sole, oh yeah, sole, oh yeah, super star, oh super, oh yeah, super star, oh yeah, king of life, oh super, oh my die, oh yeah, sole dancer, oh dancer, oh my girl, oh yeah, sole dancer, oh dancer, African baby, sole dancer, oh dancer, oh my lord, sole, oh yeah, sole. Ce soir ça vient de Babi, oh, faut danser, ce soir c'est pour toute la nuit, oh, ça va mousser, baby for me.
Welcome back. If you're just tuning in with us, we're talking with comedic giant and radio personality, Mr. Joe Clair.
Joe Cleasy.
Thank you.
So we was having a good discussion, and you tapped into, like you said, the younger generation, where that's us. So I want to ask you a question because you're actually into radio. I do radio,
Right.
Radio 1. So I want to know for aspiring radio personalities, what was your big break? What was the step that you took?
So, all right, what a lot of people don't know is me and Tigger
Okay.
had
Throw it back.
me and Big Tigger had a late night hip hop show. It used to come on Sunday nights, and we would get on for 2 hours, and it was all hip hop. And DJ Flex was our DJ, and so me and Tigger would do, and this was in my early years of Rap City or whatever. We would do, all hip hop, and then we are both freestyle on that. And that's when somebody from Radio 1 saw me. Because they knew me from comedy. They didn't know I could do radio, and they didn't know I could spit or none of that. So they approached me, and I was actually on the first Russ Parr morning show. Wow. So when Russ came to DC, because let me tell you about Russ Parr. Russ Parr is a radio. He go all the way back to K-Day. And K-Day, if anybody don't know, was a station in Los Angeles. It was all hip hop. It was like one of the first all hip hop radio stations in the country. And so Russ Parr go from there to Dallas. Then he comes to DC, and then I get honored enough to be part of the Russ Parr morning show. And then I continue to make moves. I left and moved to New York. When I moved to New York, shout out to Tracy Cloherty. Legendary Tracy Cloherty. She put me on Hot 97. I used to do Hot 97 on the weekends. Shout out to Bobby Condas. I used to come on before Bobby Condas, and so I would do that. And then when I left New York and moved to Los Angeles, I would sit in radio there as well. So I always kept it as part of my repertoire, part of what I did. And when I got back to the East Coast, fast forward 20-some years, I'm married, I got kids, I'm living in Atlanta, and the legendary Frank Ski was coming back to DC to do WHUR. Well, Frank Ski was the first person I ever heard on radio with an all hip hop show. He used to be on WDCU. Out of UDC, it was UDC's radio station. So Frank Ski started there, and he was the first ever all hip hop radio show I ever heard. I'm talking 85. And so when he calls me 20 years later, because we knew each other from Baltimore by, I met him through like some mutual friends in Baltimore. He asked me in Atlanta, now this is in 2013, and I'm living in Atlanta. He's like, you want to come to DC and do radio? And I'm like, I got wife and kids. I don't know if I'm gonna leave them here to do radio, but Frank, everything you throw up, blow up. So what you want to do? And I went to my wife. Shout out to my baby, because I'll go to her and I'm like, well, I'm doing things in Atlanta, but it's not as solid. And I've always let sort of like the Lord and the universe be my guide. And I'm like, baby, here's an opportunity. What you think? She was like, listen, we're gonna try it for a year. Yeah. I was like, a whole year? You gonna give me a year?
Yeah. That's all right there.
So it was ill, because let me tell y'all about that though, so y'all can get a real understanding. For that year, I slept in my sister's basement here, and so I got a wife, kids, whole ass house, whole ass mortgage, whole daycare, car notes, phones, groceries, clothes, everything in Atlanta. So it was like, well, you ain't got enough finances to be, living it up in DC. So I go to my sister. I'm like, well, boom, can I stay here? And of course, my sister's like, you can do whatever you need to. Yeah. So I'm staying in my sister's basement on the floor on an air mattress for a year. We talking 2013. So I'm already well into my career. I'm already going around the globe and doing things. I'm coming to DC Monday through Friday, and I'm catching the plane home Friday as soon as we get off the air, doing Daddy all the way till Monday morning, catching the first flight, boom, and then do this whole week. And so it was.
Shout out to the fathers.
For sure, for sure. And it was a grind, but we felt like it was a divine grind. Like, we didn't miss a beat, we didn't miss a step. There was some tough times, for the relationship, and we worked that out. There was some times where, I was missing my kids, and we worked that out. And then the situation with Frank switched up. So here goes the power of networking. A good friend of mine just happened to be big at WPGC. And so I it's not really like, can I have a job? It was like, hey, listen, what y'all doing with y'all morning show? And she was like, we ain't doing nothing. What you doing? And I was like, well, listen, I'm saying,
Sound about right.
I'm trying to get on there.
And she was like, you know what, that actually might. And so here we are, 4 years, going on my 5th year into that contract right now. You know what I mean? So it was. Thank you. It was a dope. My wife don't like that period, but I really do. It was
a part of the process.
Such a part of the process. Some of them beats that he playing now was made in my sister's basement. The dirt down there, the living on the, sleeping on the floor. It's too hot in the summertime, too cold in the wintertime. That made the music just that much more
You can feel the
You're like another
environment.
Yes,
You can literally feel the climate.
It was just that much more Jamal Lyons.
Oh my God.
Jamal Lyons. We gonna leave that alone.
Yeah,
We gonna leave that alone. But that character, you know what I'm saying? Remember that first year when they were like, well, go back. He went back to their first apartment to make the music. And so all of that was going on, as well as the comedy, as well as tightening up my radio skills and all that was just that much more because I remembered that everything's riding on this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't no parachute.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no parachute, ain't no plan B. You better go. What you gonna do?
And speaking on music, you interviewed a lot of notorious people. Speaking of the notorious B.I.G., almost 3 days, 4 days before he passed away, Bone Thugs and Harmony. The list goes on. Do you feel like your influence with them being around you, did that influence you to actually start making music of your own?
Nah. So I was spitting before I got on.
Okay.
Nah,
You was around C Pleasant?
Yeah. And you know you can't be no rapper in C Pleasant. It's all
it was
go-go.
Yeah.
It was all go-go. So you can't be no rapper in DC. And I was nice with it. And you know what I'm saying? I was nice with it. So I would keep it to myself. For years, I always like kept it to myself because when I would rhyme, it was more. Nah, I wouldn't say I can't make playful records. I was more Kendrick than anybody else. More, you better have some substance.
Yeah, substance.
For me, it's like this. Our music, the power of music has never been lost on me. And when the era of the gangster stuff came in and all of that came in, I realized early that that's just not the way. It's like junk food. It's like, you know what I'm saying? You feed me junk food and I'm gonna get fat. Definitely. So the same with the music, a lot of the older people now complaining about the music, but you was feeding this to the youth. So what you think the youth gonna be? What you
got out that mumble rap stage? We finally.
I ain't even mad at the mumble rap stage.
Damn.
Like here's why, because somebody saw a hole in the whole thing. Like y'all just listening to the beat, so I can on the joint if I feel like it, and I could do that on there if I feel like it, and get myself out of this situation. I can get out my mother basement off of that. So while it wasn't my favorite art form, it was an art form that I think needs to be respected. 20 years from now, you're gonna be talking about, man, let's put the mumble rap in the Museum of African American History and Culture because you're gonna be looking back.
It was a milestone.
It
so
was
I feel
because
like it has to be
because gangster rap was so vilified. What they call gangster rap, it was so vilified. They on Dionne Warwick is up on Capitol Hill testifying in front of the Senate and all these committees about our music and saying that Snoop Dogg is the worst thing that ever happened to America. Now Snoop Dogg got a show with Martha Stewart. He got a game show.
Tell it.
You feel what I'm saying? Wiz Khalifa got an Oreo commercial. Wiz Khalifa got an Oreo commercial.
I didn't even catch that.
It's evolved.
I ain't even catch that yet.
But at the bottom line to it, the thing I think I'm trying to get to is that it's all valid. It might not be valid to the people that you listen to, but in the universal scheme of everything, it's all valid. What all of us do is valid and has merit, it has value, it has validity. You can't take nothing from the Migos.
I like to thank Joe Clair.
No, man, thank you guys, man.
I really appreciate it. Before we come back,
I do appreciate you.
Joe Cleasy. Make sure you check out his music on SoundCloud.
Yes.
Definitely. But when we come back, PatriceLIVE is going to perform one of her smash hits. You ain't going to want to miss that. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Like my man Yee say, Skyler's 4 arms to palm. Your hood hit hard, you gotta help yo.
I grew up a skinny kid in Washington, D.C. Academically dismissed from college, fired by the Metropolitan D.C. Police Department, jobless, 4 kids, and a wife. One day I decided to get up. I realized that this wasn't my end. I am not uneducated. I am not without skill. I am not without drive. I reconstructed my mind, and in the process, reconstructed my body. It's only over when you choose for it to be over. Be a better you.
Welcome back. Now, our next guest is DMV's finest, Miss PatriceLIVE.
Hi, how are
I'm
you?
loving everything that you got going on.
Thank you, girl. Thank you.
You're welcome. So what are you doing for us today?
So I'm actually going to perform my lead single, Promise. It is my take on a go-go song. I'm an R&B artist, but I had to pay a little bit of homage to my city, so I hope you all will enjoy it.
Is this to someone personal? I'm trying to get in your business a
Well,
little bit.
it's not quite personal. I just knew when I did my album that I wanted to have a song that put my own spin on, you know, our homegrown music. So, yeah, we shot the video downtown in Chinatown. So I was out there getting people to dance for me for free.
That's fun.
On the street, random people. Yeah.
And that's showing love to your community as well.
Absolutely.
So you said you have the project. So who influenced some of your sounds that we can find on this project?
Definitely a mix of like Brandy. We have some soulful stuff, a Mary J. Blige kind of feel. But I just pulled from a lot of different artists that I respect. Okay. And I did the Jay-Z thing where I booked the studio for a few days and I had all of the producers, influencers from DC come out.
in.
And I was like, now fight and see what record I like. And we came up with a good record.
That's fire.
Yeah.
So if you can do one collab with anybody that you want, who would it be?
That's hard. I'll tell you my four real quick.
Okay.
Diane Warren, look her up if you don't know who she is. Okay. She's written any ballad you can think of. Unbreak My Heart, Toni Braxton, she's amazing. I love CeeLo. I'm a huge T-Pain fan as well. So, yeah.
That was 3.
Oh, I'm sorry. What did I say? I said CeeLo, T-Pain, Diane Warren, and oh my gosh, you made me forget the third one. So but if I get those 3, that's all right. Right?
Okay. Well, we are ready to see what you want to do. Bless us with for the Realish DMV show.
Thank you, thank you.
Do your thing, little mama.
All right, thank you. Good time. This next song is entitled Promise. Turn that up for me. Turn it up. I got a lot of love, I wanna give it to you. Boy, you're gonna love everything I'm doing. But first I gotta know if you can be hey, the man that I need. I'm not being cocky, but I might be your best ever. You might try to wife me, but you've gotta show that you're ready for my love. If you promise not to break my heart, said I will give you all of my trust. If you guarantee that much, hey, come on. If you promise not to break my heart, that I will give you all of my love. If you guarantee that much. Now everybody say, oh, 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 say, oh, 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 say, oh, hey, say, oh. Second verse, listen. That you ain't like them other dudes. That you won't do what they do. Don't wanna deal with the things that I did before. Hey, I really like your attitude. And boy, I really like you. But before I give you my all, show me what I need to see, yeah. If you promise not to break my heart, said I will give you all of my love. If you guarantee that much, there's nothing I won't give to you. Hey, if you promise not to break my heart, said I will give you all of my love. If you guarantee that much, everybody in this room, when I say, oh, 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 say, oh, 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 say, oh, say, oh, hey, promise to take good care and to love me. And if you promise to never let me go, I swear that I'll take care of every, yeah. I know that I could be your Wonder Woman if you promise me. Hey, can I do my dance? Hey, said if you guarantee that much. Hey, if you promise not to break my heart, said I will give you all of my love. Said if you guarantee that much. Last time when I say oh, 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 say oh, say oh, say oh, say oh, say oh. Say oh, say Thank you so much. My name is PatriceLIVE. Girl,
God.
listen, y'all see I almost took a fall.
Just
I recovered.
Just did her damn thing.
Did her thing.
What did I tell you? We bringing some of the biggest artists.
The best
bringing
artists.
the best guests.
Yes,
Hey,
sir. Yes,
enough
sir.
said. She just killed it, man.
did.
She just
Hey.
killed it, man.
Great start to
And you
season
had the hometown feel.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
what I
most
wanted, just a
definitely.
little bit.
I heard them volleys. I definitely heard
Cut the
them
rug
volleys.
up.
Look, till next time, man. I'm Dan V. Barkid.
I'm the voice of experiences, Raven Paris.
And I'm your guy, Tatted Low.
Somebody gotta keep it real.
Somebody gotta keep it
gone.
real. We gone.